It's Crossfinger, baby.
Yeah. Shout out RC. Chilling with my boy Baracka. I got something special for this. My dreams and nightmares don't feel so different. I can't believe the life that I'm leading. Phone call home, then I feel homesick. Say one word, they know who it is. I can never run for myself. Peep in the mirror when I need help. These changes keep changing, these stages and phases. I can't quit, I'm not done. From where I'm from, when it takes off, we don't run. Not a teacher might give you lessons. Don't be passive before I get aggressive. My man, I'm not foreign. We don't share smoke, we fucking blow it. Half of my crew behind bars when I ask when they're coming back out, cause they're going in and we know it. Sitting on so much, man, I'm loaded. When it's time to drop, put the city on lock and it's back to COVID. Being broke never break my spirit. The shit that I say, man, I really live it. Landlord with the rent money. Everybody trying to get a dollar from me. I finally get what they mean when they say it's a jungle. A part of me living in this economy. What do you do when the stomach starts to rumble? OD to missing money, gun in my face. Missing my family, feeling out of place. Being told that I have what it takes. Get the fuck out of my face. Here I go, I'm blasting off. Try to use my shine to feed your insecurity, then that poke on my name. Couldn't get what you want out of me. I told you I'm not like the others, I'm not the same. I am what I am and people saw that, so the effort went up in flame. If you dip that low, you feel that low. Nobody wanna hear you complain. Someone told these girls to quit acting. I know you understand my accent. Don't do drugs but I stay high. No effort in it, still dressed better than a gay guy. Back at the club like I'm 16. No time to sleep, it's a big dream. Ever since I hopped up on the plane, that's when nothing's ever been the same. I thought I made it over the sea, why do I still see myself drowning? Stop doubting, when the lights go out, no wonder why I can't sleep. What's ahead of me, I still can't sit in my eat. All I hear is this basic bitches, don't know the struggle. All they wanna do is complain. Do you really know what it's like when the money in your account and the bills start to rain? Even in times of stress, we stay blessed. I say less and I do more. Wasn't born to conform, I confirm that every time I perform. Let me tell you why, I don't worry about AI. You look at each other cause that's all you know. Then you look at me like I'm aimless. Good with words when I'm done speaking. That's when I'm the most dangerous. I can't stop all of the changes, but I can change the way that I go. Right now it's the only thing that I know. Just take a peek from the lads that crew. We all came a long way. Though some went the wrong way. One wrong drop and one got locked up. Deep depression in school, now one's a mental health doctor. We got one about to get married, I can't tell you how and no. But that girl ain't proper, nah. Broken home but a lot of wealth. A lot of drugs, didn't care for health. Now his family home is an offer. See, no one can help in this life. No medal, no trophy, no wife, it's all on you. That's my only advice. Never forget the day I lost my wallet walking back in the snow and no one that I could call. Shoot for the stars, but that seems so far. Homeless man shooting up on my side seems so much closer. I'll be lying if I said I didn't think about going back home. When the street like cut, I pray none of you feel that alone. Keep your opinion to yourself, there's only one that can judge me. Keeping secrets like Illuminati. Fuck a therapist, I'd rather party. If not now, then when will I be ready? Keep 'em even though everything getting so heavy. We try to justify with reason when we wanna give up on our vision. All of this talk and religion, well, all I see is division. Palestine is a gold mine, we learn nothing, still living like the old times. Ego to one up one another, is that a human need? I wonder, we will never be free till we see there's no difference between you and me. Being human is easy, it's hard to be a human being. Every time I speak my mind, it feels like a crime. Youth living in a prison, youth living in delusion. These machines filling our minds with pollution. Get a girl to Uber Eats, she's fine. 30 minutes in the food court, the bitch can't make up her mind. See, nothing was ever fine. That's the only reason why it's another day and I have another rhyme. Let's get it. What's up, my brother?
That's tight.
How you doing?
I love that. I love that, man. I love that. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to AFRODIASPO podcast, another episode here for you guys. I'm your host, Baracka, man. Today we got a special guest, as you can see. This was fire. This was fire. Man, I might get a chance to introduce yourself, man. Just tell me something about yourself real quick, man. Apart from that song, we'll cover that song later on, but tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself real quick, man.
What's good, everyone? I'm Clinton. I moved here from Sydney, and I'm a hip-hop artist. I've been doing this for a couple of years. Went to film school. I do music with this as well, but just overall, I like being creative, being around other people that are creative like myself. Hence, I'm here with Baracka. And shout out to Ossie, who really put this on for everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clinton, welcome to the show, man. Obviously, we'll be trying to have you for a while here. You know, it's good to finally get you inside, and you perform really well, man, and the music. So tell us about that music, how you started creating that. What inspired you to go through that, man? Because that's a firework right there.
Well, man, I'm gonna be honest. Like and it's funny because we talked about it earlier as well. Like when we were both younger, like I'm sure the same with you. Like we love music. For me, I was that kid that would like sometimes I would go to school and I wouldn't have my pencils or pencil case and shit, but I'd never leave the house with headphones. That was the one thing that I always had, and like even when I was growing up, like my parents were worried that I'm gonna blow out my ears because all day, every day I just had headphones in. But the thing is, I never thought I could be like a singer or anything because I didn't really understand like how to do music or how to make music.
Really?
And like even with like how it happened really when I was younger, I wanted to be like a kind of like an athlete, like into sports and stuff, just like yourself.
Yeah.
And
We
what
talked
pretty
about
much
that.
happened was like I was just kind of like I just started like writing songs.
Yeah.
And like I just realized at like some point, I think I was like 13.
Yeah.
When me and my friend we wrote like a little diss song, and I was like, oh, like we can kind of like rhyme and shit. So I always thought I could like kind of write, but I never thought I had like a good voice. I thought even to rap you needed to have a good voice. So not until and then like pretty much when I was 16, like I just started like writing raps in the back of the class and shit like that. But when I was like 19, that's when I kind of got my first chance to like get in a studio, like meet producers. Is this one of my friends, Aaron, Double A, we call him.
Yeah.
He, because I was in Sydney, and he came from America to Sydney, and he was like, yeah, I make beats. And I was like, yo, like I've been trying to find people for like years and shit, and like, and I didn't know shit about music, but like, you know, at that age, like you're just like crazy confident. So I was like, yeah, bro, like I want to do this. And even when I asked him, I didn't think much of it, and he didn't think much of me. And he told me like the next day come to my house, and where he lived was like an hour and a half from my house. And then the next day I showed up, and he was like, fuck, you're here. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And then we just kind of got to it.
So you mentioned Sydney. So you were born originally from Australia?
No, I was actually born in India, and I was only like a couple years old, and then I moved to Australia. So like pretty much like I would say pretty much spent my whole life there because I don't really remember what it was like before that.
Yeah. When did you move to Australia?
I think it was like 2006 or something like that, or maybe something like that. Yeah.
Well, all your family just
like my whole
there.
family and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. And that's what you mentioned you went to school there as well. You just started school in India first before you went to Australia?
Did. But the thing is like I was just kind of like so out of it kind of thing. Like I didn't really know like until I moved to Sydney. Like if you asked me what year it was, I probably wouldn't even know.
No.
Like like it wasn't like I was dumb or anything. Like I was like I feel like it's my natural inkling to like not worry about things, not like, you know what I mean? Like I was more just like living in my own world kind of thing. And like when I moved to like Sydney, I think I was like 7 or 8 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And like that's when like I kind of started to, you know what I mean? Like,
you know, but it's very interesting, man, because like you say, finding yourself. You mentioned like just getting into music. You know, it takes some sort of, you know, something in your life to hit it to get into exactly what you want. You went to play sports before.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit, you know, prior to the show.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, what made you get into music in the first place? So what is something that you wanted to accomplish when you're in music?
Right. This is something that we talked about a little bit before the show as well. And really for me, what it was is just like, one, I just loved music, like as we said, right?
Yeah.
But, and I always, see, the thing is, what I realized was when I was playing sports, right?
Yeah.
I realized after a certain point, what I wanted to do the most was perform through sports. Like I always wanted to fill up arenas. I always wanted to like give people the high, that excitement, like make them feel that kind of stuff, like through my performance in sports, right?
Exactly.
And like I feel like I've always been kind of self-aware, especially like I guess like back then, like beyond my years, like I always like reflect on myself and like why I am the way I am. And it's also because like I moved schools a lot. So I feel like when you're like taken out of like kind of like a constant flow, you naturally reflect more. So as a kid, because I moved like, bro, like I think I went to like 8 or 9 different schools, right? So because I was moving schools so much, I guess like it kind of, and for me another big thing was like I always wanted to be myself, like that. I don't know why.
That's
like,
the important thing.
Yeah, bro. Like
that's the important thing.
You know, like when you go through like teenage years and you try to fit in and all that shit. Like I wanted to make sure that I was who I was. You know what I mean? And I think like maybe that's where like I would always self-reflect, and like I realized at a very young age like what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it. And I knew the reason why I wanted to do music was like for me the main thing, like I didn't know melody, I didn't understand like how music is made or nothing. But the one thing that I think got me in music was like the ability, like wanting to write songs, and then also like being someone that can like just really wanting to connect with people. Like that's like one thing I always wanted to do.
Thing.
Like, and I know you're the same, and we talked about this earlier, because and you can kind of see that when someone performs, like someone who really
100%.
wants to connect with people, and like is hungry for it. Like you can see it in the performance. There's almost like a level of desperation.
I was honored to watch you perform that day when you had a show in Vancouver. That's the first time seeing you perform too.
Yeah.
You know, you got me out there. You said it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good show, and just the preparation. That's why I wanted to ask you a little more about the way you prepare going to a show.
Yeah.
Because it's when you overthink it too much,
Yeah.
things tend to start going sideways, right?
Yeah.
You always gotta stay locked in what you want to bring out there,
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, how do you prepare when you have a show, for example? How do you prepare to get into that stage, and what to give to the crowd, to the audience?
First, I gotta say, like, with that show, like, you were, that was the first show that I put together in Wayne, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
I was like looking at like all the artists that like I kind of knew, and like what kind, and like how I wanted to stack the show up, kind of
Yes,
thing.
sir, yeah.
And because I didn't want to just have like random as artists and like random, and I just kind of just go, yeah, like whatever happens, and like I wanted to like do it as proper as I could, and like I think I wanted to make sure, like, even if it takes more like effort on my end, I would do that. And that's why I really wanted you to have you on there, because like, one, I love Afro
It was a
beats.
great one.
I love those kind of vibes, and you like from the time that Aussie like showed me your stuff, I knew that aside from the music that you had a good vibe, and to me that was like really important. And that's why like seeing you there, and like what I was kind of like hoping that you could do,
Real
you
one.
did. You know what I mean? And
Real
I'm
one.
not even like saying that, you know what I mean?
Shout
And
out
I was
Clayton.
like, literally, because like the first, like when it started, like, okay, but like I knew like towards the end of the show, I'm like, don't worry about it, because I know
Yeah.
it's gonna hit right. So that aside, what it takes to going into something like that.
Yeah.
So there's two things. Either it's a show that I put together myself, which
Yeah.
I don't do that often,
Yeah.
or it's a show that I just go to. Now, if it's a show that I just go to, it's a lot easier, because the only
Yeah.
thing I have to worry about is my own performance.
Yeah.
Something like that, I was kind of like getting all the technical shit right, and
Mm-hmm.
like making sure everyone's there on time, making sure everyone's smooth, making sure everyone's like kind of good, kind of
Good
thing, right?
stuff, yeah.
And it's funny because I will come back to that. But in terms of the performance itself,
Yeah,
just like
personally.
personally, like just like you said, you want to be in the right mindset. Like what I kind of try to do is
Yeah.
I try to like put in as much effort as I can
Yes.
leading up to it. Like,
Yeah.
and I took a couple days off work, like 2-3 days before that, because I wanted to make
make sure it goes like
good.
it's planned. Yeah,
But, like,
especially
the-
for a show.
This is my first show,
Yeah.
and like, but the thing is, like, what I kind of like to do is put in a lot of effort before the show. So on the day of the show, I can kind of like not worry about shit. Can I get it right? Do I know the song?
Yeah.
Can I perform it? Because I like to like pretty much make it like muscle memory. So on the day, I can just fucking go for it, and I kind of like to do it in a
Exactly.
way that like I would. Like if there's 10 times where something comes up,
Yeah.
where there's a 50% chance of it, like if it goes well,
Yeah.
it's really gonna get the crowd into it. And if it goes bad, I'm gonna look like an idiot. I don't mind looking like an idiot. Like I would do it. You know what I mean? To
That's the
get the
mindset.
crowd in it. You know?
I like that mindset, bro. I saw when I saw you there, I saw how you just the way you attack the stage first.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell somebody's a good performer. There's a good performer and there's a great performer.
Yeah.
You know, and how they approach going to the performance. You know, but when I saw you, just the way you enter the stage and how you start talking to the crowd first to get them how you wanted them to feel the vibe the way you want them to feel it.
Yeah.
Right? That's the most important key. That's why I wanted to ask you how long you been making music. If you want to tell everybody, how long has Clayton been making music?
Ooh, so like actually making music.
Actually making music.
Look, the thing is, I've been wanting to do it for so long. Like
Yeah.
probably like seriously wanting to do it since 2017.
Yeah.
And it pretty much took 2 years to actually like be able to do it. 2019 is pretty much April or March 2019.
Yeah.
Basically, I'll just tell you like literally, and I was so eager to do it. Pretty much when I found my shout out to Aaron, a lot of arena sounds. Love you always, because without that guy, I probably wouldn't have gone the way. I'm sure you probably got someone that you know. What I
There's
mean?
a lot. There's all gotta be a lot of
you know what I
connection, man.
mean?
I'm telling you.
If we get into that, the whole hour is gonna go into that. But
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much, shout out to Aaron's. I met him, and like basically, I was so hungry for an opportunity, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I pretty much got like I felt like if I got an opportunity this big,
Yeah.
that I'd like drag it out to be this big, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much, I met Aaron, and he had information on like what to do, what to kind of do.
Mm.
I figured out the rest. Basically, we just fucking around. I didn't even know how to be on beat or nothing.
Yeah.
And we just took like a little Instagram like snippet in like March or
Just
something.
go with the flow.
And bro, like straight away, I posted on Instagram, and I was like, in a month, the song is coming out. Because at the time, like especially in Sydney, there wasn't like as much like local music and shit coming out.
Exactly.
We got like a good and that was because when you're younger, you have like more attraction, right?
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
you know more people, you're going out more. Like it got like a bit of a buzz, and I was like, fuck it. In a month from now, we're gonna release the song. So that kind of pushed us to make the song, make the music video, figure out how to post it, figure out how things work.
Yeah.
And from there, it was 3rd of May when the first song came out. And then from there, it was just to consistently keep on going and to just grow. Like, it wasn't so much like, let's put a song out and
Yeah,
like
and
hope
just-
that it becomes a hit. It was like, let's put a song out so we get better. You know what I mean? And like not be scared of putting a song out. Like that's what I kind of just like that was my natural inclination because what I saw was, and I'm sure you know, like probably the best artists in the world right now are not famous or haven't made it because they're too scared to put themselves out there, right? And that's one thing.
There's a lot, bro. There's a lot. Like I always say to myself, if you have something there that you really like, I do music. At some point you gotta do music for you.
Yeah.
And you know where music put you, you know, personally, where does it take you and then put you in a different kind of spot, you know?
Yeah.
Like how does music work that for you? So like I wanted to tell you, everything you did on that stage that day,
yeah,
it was already a great start.
Yeah.
So after that, whatever you do after that, you know for sure you kill that stage that day.
Yeah.
Everything else you're gonna just reflect to that. It's like your reference. But I think my question that I wanted always been curious though, it was like, what made you go through the UK drill vibe? Like, have you always had that as a kid?
UK drill vibes. Okay, so with the UK, so like a lot of my songs are not really the UK drill vibes. Some of them are. Here's the thing, because like growing up in like Sydney, especially the last couple of years, like there was a lot of drill music that was popular. So like there's a lot of Sydney drill music that is out there, right? So I feel like I'm just naturally inspired. Like here's the thing when it comes to like music or anything creative.
Yeah.
I don't like look at something that I don't really like and go, well, that's working, let me go towards it. Whatever I feel like I want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like even as a person, like I am pretty stubborn and shit like that, right? Which sometimes it isn't a good thing. But when it comes to doing creative shit, I feel like it's kind of great because then it just kind of takes you where you need to go, right? And
so you can, as a person, you want to do everything basically. You don't want to stay on one category.
Everything that I like. Yes, and then also because I'm ADHD as fuck, like sometimes I'll get bored and stuff. Like for example, if I could sing, well, I mean I am like trying to learn how to sing, but like if I could sing, then like I would probably be doing a lot of Afrobeat songs, right?
Yeah.
But in Punjabi, because that's like something that I'm like, well, that's fucking like interesting.
It's
as
like
fuck.
you can. There's a different way. There's a different way. There's always gonna be a way. As soon as you get to the studio, you feel the vibe, because you always have to have the vibe. If you have the vibe of the song, everything's gonna go the way it's supposed to go.
All right, let me ask you something, right? Because I feel like your creative process is and I made sure that I didn't ask you earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your creative process, like as you kind of dabbled into a little bit, I know that, and like what I really like about you is that your vibe is also like always really good. And like for me, selfishly, I love being around people that have a positive nature. You know what I mean?
That.
It kind of like
always
boosts you up. You know what I mean? And especially being an artist, like there's so much doubt and stuff that can dribble in. You have to constantly go through it. What I've noticed about you is your writing process. It's very kind of to me, it feels like it's very concentrated on getting the vibe first, and then kind of growing around it.
See, that's why I wanted to get you in that question, because everybody's different when they're making the music.
Yeah,
you know, you can start your music by just going to the studio, listen to the beat, and then write on spot right there.
Yeah,
some people rather have the beat with them, take them, listen anywhere they want to listen to.
Yeah.
And then go write whenever they feel peaceful and whenever it inspires them to go and write right there. So as for you, how do you come about writing your music?
Okay, here we go. I mean, I'm gonna put it back on
because you do have a lot of bars in that. You do have a lot of bars. You have a lot of lines, and sometimes it gets a little aggressive.
Yeah.
What inspires you to get in that mode right there? Because you seem locked in.
I feel like, and this is the thing, like I actually constantly struggle with writer's block, and I think it's because like a lot of the songs that I try to make is from my own personal life experiences and stuff like that.
Yes.
And like sometimes I think what happens is because it's your own life experience, sometimes you think, oh, like this isn't like cool enough or that or whatever. But then like I feel like when you really tap into yourself and and like what's really, and I'm sure you felt this, like a lot of times when you just like when you're just like not really thinking and you're just making music, and then you listen to it later, and then you actually realize like those are the thoughts that you were having at the time, and that's actually your subconscious speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the songs that I've written, like it'll be about like a certain situation, a certain story, or like pretty much like a lot of my songs is about how I'm feeling, or like what my mindset is at a certain point in my life. Like for example, I think the best example I can give is probably my first song, Grinding My Gears. Like when I listen to that song, like even now, and I hate listening to it, right? It's my first song, whatever. But when I listen to like the stuff that I'm saying, it's so different to how I think now, but it actually but it actually paints a picture on exactly what my mindset was and like what my problems or whatever it was at that time, right?
100%.
So that's what and I think I think that's probably what's the most attractive thing about hip hop is that you really like talk about yourself, your own experiences, and if people fuck with it and if you can do it in a creative way, people are connected to you. You know what I mean? Because you're really just telling them about yourself. It's almost like how we're doing this interview, and people, if they're watching the interview, if they might start watching it because they click on it, but they're gonna keep on watching it if they can't find it relatable, if they find us interesting. And like I think that's what hip hop is. It's really like a musical way of like just you talking about yourself. And that's kind of like how I started writing. And like some songs like and I think that's the reason why I have writer's block every now and then. Because a lot of like rappers will talk about like being really rich and stuff, right? And like a lot of materialistic things. The thing is, I'm not rich, right? And a lot of rappers that are coming up, they'll talk about stuff they don't have and all that, right? And I kind of feel it's almost like and the reason why you're talking about like performing live is like because there's the stuff that I'm saying, like if I was talking about having 5 Lamborghinis, I'm looking at 100 people that know me and then know I don't have 5 Lamborghinis. It's hard to really like what at that point, if you're doing it with full confidence, you're faking it, right? But because I'm talking about stuff that's like that song that I just did, it's just about it's pretty much 2023, my whole experience, right? And like pretty much my life experience, things that I'm going through, some good situations, bad situations, took a couple shots at a couple people, and they know. And they even came to the show, and I literally looked at them and took a shot at them, right?
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'll be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just like
if you're writing music that's come from somewhere,
you can't hide it, man.
You can't hide it.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Yeah.
You know, because at that moment you're feeling that,
Yeah.
you put it on. And especially if it works with a beat, works how everything is he's always gonna be the best, you know. How was it growing up in Sydney?
It was fucking amazing, man. Like it was really and like especially being here now, like and like I know in the city like it's COVID and stuff, and that's kind of fucked things up. And so sometimes the weather gets gloomy, people can be gloomy. But like what I realize now is like just like here, Sydney is also very multicultural. And I think even like I feel like as a person, because of the childhood that I had, I feel like I'm like pretty open to like new experiences, new people, new ways of thinking. And even as a creative, that really helps, right? I think it's because like I grew up because like I'm brown, right? And funny enough, there's brown people all over Vancouver. When I was in school, there was no brown people. So I was hanging out with Asians, like I was hanging out with black people, I was hanging out with like Tongans, Samoans. So like I didn't so naturally like I could never look at someone and be like, oh, you're this race and you're like this, so I'm gonna be friends with you. So it was just like whoever I kinda liked, whoever connected with, like that's just the way it was. Aside from that, like I feel like in Sydney, people are very open to like meeting new people, like having like experiences, enjoying your life. Like that's what the culture is about. Here, I feel like the culture is more about just working fucking hard and then you like just having big houses, big cars, and all that kind of shit. But the thing is, you make no fucking money here compared to over there. So when you come from over there to here, you're like, what the fuck? Like people are not enjoying their life, but they're working like crazy and they're angry. So
I wanted to ask you the difference when you came to Vancouver.
I didn't like it, bro. Fuck that. Like,
most people don't. When they show up here, most people don't. Trust me.
Yeah.
At the beginning, because there's always gonna be a difference between where you know you grew up, you had that thing going on.
Yeah.
And then you moved to a different place. Things now shifted.
Yeah.
They're all different now.
Yeah.
What is the things that you picked up the most that was very different? You think?
Oh, bro. Like the number one thing and.
The people there and the people here.
Is this like people's attitude and like I feel like people almost and like I think it's really coming out of like and now that I've been here for a little bit longer, like I think people here are like very standoffish, but it's coming out of like some kind of a defense, like them trying to protect themselves, right? So I don't know where, like maybe, and I think high school here's got a lot to do that. It's because I don't know what it is, and also to be fair, that's just like from what I hear, it's more in Vancouver than anywhere else in Canada. Like if you go to the middle of Canada, like with the little experience that I've had with those people, they're nice as fuck, right? It's a different thing. But like I remember when I first came here, like the first week, like when you're trying to like create a new life, like you want to go in with positive energy, and I came in with like all this positive energy and shit like that, and like people like initially I felt like people were being kind of like harsh and brush and shit like that, and back home if someone's like being like that to you, is kind of like they're like asking for it. Like if you're gonna behave like that with someone, then like if you get smacked in the fucking face, like it's on you. You kind of brought it on yourself. So now when I'm here and I'm kind of getting that energy from like this person. I'm like, I don't think you're really the kind of person that's like physically confrontational. you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know if I was you that this would be a smart way to behave with someone else. You know what I mean? So, but then I realized over time that it was me who was tripping.
Yeah.
And it's just, and like, it's not coming from them being standoffish. It's just like overall, people don't see the, like, it's almost like people don't see the point in being overly nice to someone they don't know. And it's, and you know what? And like the more that I'm being here, I feel like people are really good at focusing on themselves, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you gotta be locked in, man. Especially with everything that's, you know, that's going on, man. You gotta make sure you make something with your life. You know, because if you don't do that, then I think the most part of it is the busy time.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got the stuff going on in their life, and now it becomes hard to connect with people at certain times. You know?
Well, I mean, let me ask you this, because I know you've got a lot going on. You work full time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been here for ages, so I'm sure you got your social life, you got other stuff going on, and like also the sun he goes down at like 5, 6 during the winter, right? So the days feel short. How do you make, and since I know for a fact that music is what you want to do.
You're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
I'm supposed to be asking you a question.
No, bro, we're gonna make it interesting. Gotta go both ways. You know?
So how do I make that work?
How do you find that balance? Because it's so easy. Because like you can go work, especially you work 10 hours a day. So for those who don't know, Baracka works for Amazon. Be cool with me saying that.
Yeah.
He works 10, 12 hours. And after that, bro, like you come home, you change, you eat. Like you must be tired as shit. So like how do you, and like it would be so easy for you in your mind to go like, you know what, I've kind of done enough today. Maybe tomorrow I'll get onto it. How do you, like, that's like a constant struggle. How do you deal with that?
Oh man. Especially based on music. Based on music. That's why I be trying, you know, say it in the beginning when I was want to talk to you earlier. And I say, for me, it's the love of if you love something, you probably won't be as much tired as you were. Isn't it? Doesn't matter how tired you were, you're still gonna find a little of the spark to get to it. Maybe you can sit down and play some beats, listen to some music, your favorite music you like. That will push you a little bit,
right?
And when that pushes you a little bit, you will want to try and do something.
Right.
So I feel like that's the key. What really drives me mostly is because I just love music. Everywhere I go, it has to do something with music. I just listen to music everywhere I am. You know, starting as a child, being, you know, in Africa and watching all these artists doing their thing.
Who was the artist that was doing the thing?
Man,
that like really got you.
That goes. I'm gonna ask you that question later on.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it was like, because I lived mostly in Uganda. I grew up in Uganda mostly.
Okay.
And guys like, during that time was guys like Jose Chameleon. You know, shout out to him, man. He was a big impact in my life. Just the way he composed his music.
Yeah.
It was really, you know, getting to people, you know. It was really getting, like, the way, like you say, you know, your life pushes you to make the music that you want.
Yeah.
If you want to make music that's happy, you make music happy. If you want to make music sad, you want to make music sad, you go ahead and do all that. But it has to do with your life. So he had a lot of struggle in his life as well. And he would put that motivation into his music. So I would look at that, I'd be like, man, I want to be like that too, man.
Yeah.
Because I just love that, you know, that style that he has. I want to be able to do that style too, but I couldn't because I didn't have the equipment that back then.
But you actually saw yourself even back then.
I saw it. I used to be in a choir.
Okay.
I grew up in a choir. So
that part is not getting edited.
Yeah, that part right there, I think that taught me a lot more because, you know, when I was in the choir, it was like not only being in the choir, but it was also learning to be disciplined. So learning how to know what you want. If you want something really bad, you gotta work for it. You know, whenever we'll go out there, we'll practice. At the end of the day, it's like you versus you. You gotta go out there and be ready. Sunday, you gotta be ready. Sunday, you gotta be able to perform. So I developed just a love of music. And when you do that, you feel the hunger to finish a project. You feel the hunger to release it. You feel the hunger to keep making more. So even despite the 10-hour shifts, I'm not gonna lie, I do be beat up, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, my guy OC, you know, I see him sending me beats and stuff. I'm like, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going with it. I just can't be ignoring just things like that. Right. So, you know, and if I love the beat, doesn't matter where I am. I'll probably rest, take a nap or something, but I'll wake up. I'll try to make a little line, just to get it started. But that's why I wanted to ask you, who inspired you to start making music? Who are you listening to when you're growing up?
Ooh, okay.
Music-wise.
So here's the thing, like music-wise, that was, and like I look back at it as it's kind of like a great thing.
Yeah.
Like when I say like I didn't really know the technicalities of music, like I couldn't even tell you like what the difference between like pop and like R&B.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Like and like for like the longest time, and I didn't really give a fuck. And like I was that kind of like literally, and like the kind of songs I listened to was so fucking crazy. Like I would like if it was a song, and like now I know it's like cool to listen to like Spanish songs and shit like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Back then, bro, like. Especially when you're in high school and there's like a certain thing that if you listen to this is cool. I was like that kid that would have songs from like different countries. I didn't care what it was. If I liked
you love
it,
it, you go with
yeah.
it.
And like especially like if you notice like at that age, like if it's a song by a girl, even if it's a good song, like a lot of guys won't listen to it because they're like fuck that. For me, if I don't care if it was a guy, girl, a fucking donkey, like if it's a song that I liked,
Yeah.
I would listen to it, right? And obviously like without even knowing,
Yeah.
like I gravitated to a lot towards hip hop. A little bit of like R&B. I used to like love, like I would listen to like Shaggy, to like fucking like songs from like the 90s.
Shaggy was good, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shaggy. Yo, this guy was.
This guy was
That was one of
fire,
the
bro.
guys too that actually put me in.
Put you on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely. This Shaggy, this Raggedy.
Yeah.
Because I've always loved music that has a bass,
Yeah.
that has a movement. I love dancing.
Yeah. Oh
So-
yeah, same.
I love dancing. Yeah. So once the music puts me in a dancing zone,
Yeah.
I would love that music. So
Yeah.
that's why it inspired me. But I can't believe you be listening to Shaggy too. That's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Like, and bro, and the thing is, like, what I kind of realized, like,
Yeah.
in school is like, if you do, like, people don't know, like, people just follow each other, right? So, like, let's say in school, if it was uncool
Yeah.
to like listen to Shaggy, right?
Yeah.
Then instead of running away from it, I
Yeah.
would run towards it. Then I would go in class.
Yeah.
When the teacher would stop talking, put the volume on full blast and put on fucking Shaggy, right? And then start singing it. And then for the first 2 minutes, everyone's like, what the fuck? And then they kind of get used to it. So I kind of realized, I'm like, oh, so like rather like you, like all you got to do is just double down and shit. And then people just get the fuck out of your way and you realize it doesn't really matter, right? But like what I was saying is like, it would be from like Shaggy to like someone from like the 1950s to like
Really?
Lil Wayne to like anyone, bro. So like it was just, if I liked the song, I would go towards it.
Where
But,
were you streaming all this music from?
YouTube.
Oh,
Like,
everything
yeah.
was on YouTube.
YouTube, or I would just like download songs from like random places.
No, back in the days, yeah.
But bro, like I would have to say, aside from like now it's different. Like my favorite brown artist is my favorite artist, a brown artist. But for the longest time, and even now still, I think Drake for me, because like Drake came out when I was like, I think in the 5th grade or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And bro, like I'm not like, he just had flappers for like from like the end of my primary school to like high school, like and to like when I first started like even after high school, like when you're like from like when I was 19, 20, like this guy had like non-stop slappers. Drake was like a big like Drake was like, okay, like that's the kind of like thing that I would want to have,
fire.
like that kind of impact.
Still is on fire.
Still on fire. But like another guy who actually really made me want to like write songs.
Yeah.
Do you remember this song called Crooked Smiles by J. Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I thought the
Also
lyrics
listen
in
to J.
that
Cole
was
too.
amazing. And like that made me
course.
want to start writing again.
Of course.
So I think I don't even really realize it, but maybe that song did a lot somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think music put you? Was there a time in your life where things was just very dark?
Yeah.
And you had to put music into a place where that's the only thing you can go to. Anyway, because I've heard a lot of stories. People do go through that. You know.
So I mean, like I feel like just the kind of life I've had has been like crazy ups and downs, right? So it's kind of like this. So what's interesting is like I wanted to do music. Like I just thought like maybe I could like make music and like a lot of people like in school and stuff are like, yo, you can really write. Like maybe you should try rapping. And I'm like, nah, like I don't really have the words for it. But at the same time, I was like, if the chance comes up, I'm not gonna miss it. But what I wanted to do was like be an actor and like do more of that kind of stuff. And then I started learning a little bit of filmmaking, right? And
interesting.
Really what happened was, so that's, and my whole plan was to kind of go to like college for like a year or two, like get some bullshit done and then get that out the way, just kind of make my parents happy kind of thing.
Where when you got here? Or?
No. So because I only got here like last year sometime.
Okay.
But like way
so it
before
hasn't been
that.
that long, yeah.
Yeah, like a couple of, pretty much after school, I was
Sick.
like, I'm gonna go just go to college because I don't really know what else to do.
Yeah.
And then just do just like some bullshit degree or some shit like that,
Yeah.
or just get something. But and then after that, like going to movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I was writing music. So what happened was I was going through like a pretty shitty phase, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of like I got thyroid, like hyperthyroid, and like I didn't get meds for it for a
my
while.
goodness.
Yeah, and like it was like a bad
Wow.
breakup, and I was kind of like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Like I was always like high, like aspirational and shit. I don't want to like just waste my like time away. And then like the chance came up to music in that. And like when that chance came up, like at the time, I felt like I had no opportunities with like nothing that I wanted to do creatively. So when that opportunity came up to do music, like I was like, this is fucking like, even though it was small, it was like I'm gonna drag this out. And like what I realized is that what I really love about music compared to any other art form is that you can make your own opportunities. Like even us doing this
100%.
right now, right? Like yeah, like we
100%.
like Aussie connected us and shit, but like we only got here because we made our own songs. We put them out, and like with YouTube and shit like that,
Yeah,
we had the
it
chance to
gives
do
you a
that.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say Clinton's goal is?
My goal?
Yeah, when you come here in Canada, because this is obviously a great place
Yeah.
to trying to chase your goal. This is like a land where opportunities, they say, where you
Right.
could fight to go accomplish your goals. You know. So what is your goal?
So my
coming
goal
here?
of coming here was pretty much I had finished film school, did okay. Like I've been doing some songs and videos, putting them out over there, and I was like, if I don't do anything, is this gonna stop here, right? So I was like, where do I? And like I just needed to go somewhere with more people with a bigger scene, and
Okay.
like especially like being brown. Like what I kind of realized is like again coming back to what's the most unique to you, and I realized like my life experience or like my journey, like who does that appeal to the most, and who can I really speak to? And I realized like maybe that's like brown people that had like that I grew up in another country, right? And I thought, okay, where do I go for that? And like Canada came into my mind, and like when Cuba came into my mind, and honestly, if I'm being honest, like I just literally picked up my bags and came here on like intuition. Like, bro, I'm not even kidding. Like a week before I came here,
Yeah.
I thought like Vancouver and Toronto were like right next to each other. Like I didn't know shit
No
about,
way.
but I didn't know shit about. Like I didn't even know like Vancouver was a rainforest. Like I didn't know shit. Like I just picked up my shit and I was like,
I actually thought you came from Toronto first, though.
nah, bro. I've
I
actually never
literally
been to
thought you
Toronto.
came.
I've
Wow.
never been to Toronto. Yeah. I want to go before I go back home.
Yeah.
And like hopefully with music and stuff, there's like shows and stuff out
Yes,
there.
yeah.
Cause like from just what I hear, I feel like the vibes in Toronto are probably like kind of more bumping a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a different vibe for sure. Like there's little similarities, but there's also a lot more difference between here and Toronto. But there's definitely a lot of vibes out there.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of artists out there too. They're pushing it.
Let me
every
ask
time.
you a question, right?
Yeah.
So what I found really interesting about what you were saying is that like even when you were younger, you didn't know how, but you knew that some. And it's interesting because
Yeah.
I feel like me and you are similar in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
What I find
100%,
really,
bro.
what I find really interesting about what you were saying earlier is that you saying that you didn't know how, but you could kind of see yourself doing this, right? Then years later, when like you kind of grew up and stuff like, and like you had more resources to your disposal, right?
Yeah.
And now you're like pushing this shit. Like I was hearing you talk to some of the boys back here, and you were talking about like how you want to do like a bunch of songs and videos, and like you're it's like what's next?
What's next? Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like me and you have that partially.
I like that for you, bro.
You-
I really do, because I see that in you too.
Do you know why I think we have that though? It's because we were deprived of like opportunities for so long that now we're not like, yeah, like we'll do like one thing and everything
Yeah.
else will come to us. It's like I've got this thing that like if I stop right now, everything stops right now.
Yeah.
And I kind of see that in you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you've been like doing stuff. Like
Yeah.
you've been putting out videos, you've been recording songs. I see you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But you're not like content.
No, but the thing is, I always tell myself, you can never think is enough, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like every year has to be something that you have to work on
Yeah.
to be better than you were last year.
Yeah.
You know, every time I just always want to have that mindset. Every time you release the music,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I can do this different, or I can do that different.
Yeah.
You know? So, and it's also about the team that you have,
Yeah.
the people you have around you.
Yeah.
And if you see people who they're actually putting stuff out there, putting the work out there, you will try to match that vibe, because that's something that you love to do as well. And if you have the equipment, you have the people, the surrounding who are feeding you that same vibe, same energy, you want to keep pushing it. So my goal for sure is to get a lot of music videos out there. I think that's the goal this year. I want to drop a lot of music, a lot of drop of videos, and we'll see how things move on from there. Next year, 2025, maybe I'll have another new goal to set again. but I feel like that's what, you know, Baracka needs right now to go through there. And I wanted to ask you that too. I'm like, because I see like you must have a lot of songs, if I'm saying.
Kind of, yeah, I do.
Like, because the way I told you, you rap fast. Like, you rap really quick.
Yeah.
And you say you don't know how you do it. You don't even, you feel like it's natural thing, right?
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like-
I just feel like over time, like I'm just trying to get it right. And the thing is, like, sometimes I feel like I don't like. Sometimes I feel like I still don't actually know how to rap. You know what I mean? It's just almost like when you see someone learning and they're like count bars and they're like da da da, and that's one bar. Like I'm just kind of like rapping to the beat. Like
beat.
it's not even like 1, 2, 3, 4 bar. It's just like I'm just like listening to small parts in it
Yeah.
and just rapping and rehearsing and adding and shit. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like maybe if I did it like the typical way in the beginning, it might suck, but then it might go to really good. Or I could just follow my route, which is just being more natural. So I don't even know, but I'm just hoping that like it just comes, like my own sound comes together,
Yeah.
which I can kind of see it happening more and more. Yeah. But you were saying, sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. I was saying the goal for you in music.
Yeah.
How far do you think you want to push it? You know, coming here and
Yeah.
having all these opportunities and your hunger. How far are you looking for to push the music, and what do you have? You can tell people how, like, what do you have expecting from you for this year? Your goals for this year.
I mean, to be honest, in terms of opportunities, what I feel like right now, I've actually, like, where I was back home, I had a lot more opportunities.
Really?
The reason why I say that is because I was there for a while, right? So, and I was in film school there, like, especially when it comes to music videos and like all that, like, I knew people that had equipment that could do stuff. I could work with more people. I had found my people. Like financially, I wasn't paying rent. I was living at home with my parents and stuff. And you make so much more money there, bro.
100%.
So you have like a lot more money to work with.
100%.
And because you don't have to pay rent and you make more money, which means that you can work a lot less.
Yeah.
So you have a lot more time and like your mindset to put into music, right? Like like for example, like if I'm going to a music studio in downtown, right? Most likely I'm gonna be working that day. So I'm gonna pretty much go to work the whole day. Without a car, it's gonna take me like 2 hours to get there. And then so now I'm most likely pretty tired when I'm there already, right? And then I was like, oh shit, I gotta get it done. 2 hours to get back home. Like that's just like an example of like, and like if you go into music videos or like doing things, like everything is slower so far. But I feel like that tide is about to turn. I feel like I've really tried hard to like reach out to people, find creative people. And I also don't want to be around people that are like not really serious about it, like don't really care about it, or like are like doing it for the cloud and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like the tide is just about to turn where now I've reached out to a lot of people, and like the good people out of those I feel like I'm really close to connecting. And I only need like a couple of people, right? To just kind of push the machine forward. In terms of what I want to do and opportunities, the biggest opportunity here is probably the brown music. That's why I kind of came here to do English music and brown music, kind of mash it together, create my own story. And I feel like
You do brown music as well?
I mean, that's what I mean. I've never put out a brown song, right? And
But
this is,
it's part of your goal. It's what you want to.
I mean, that is
release
the
out
goal,
there.
to be honest. Like,
I think it'll be awesome, man.
yeah,
Like,
bro. And
because there's a lot of, sorry to cut you. There's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of people also here who, like, brown music start. If you go to like places where they play music, people are vibing with it.
Yeah.
You know? People are vibing with everything. Like, I feel like not even music. Same thing with Afrobeat music.
yeah.
The reason why
Same
it's
with Spanish music, bro.
Same with
It's fucking
Spanish music.
everywhere, yeah.
You know, the reason why it's coming up now is because like people start realizing now, man, you know, there's every different kind of music. As long as you explore into it,
Yeah.
you're gonna really see how exactly it is.
Yeah.
You know, and people will start like exploring more a lot into that. So people will be expecting for you to do that, man. Especially with the way you work, the way you rap.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing is like, is this like? I feel like the one thing, and I'm sure you probably feel the same. Like the one thing, like overall, that I just learned about life is like sometimes like is this about timing and you can't force it.
Facts.
Like for example, like I wanted to do music, I wanted to do shit so much like before that I actually got to do it.
Yeah.
But then I feel like at the time that I got to do it was the right time for me, and I feel like even with doing like brown music, I feel like right now is the time. Like if I can. Like the thing is, I don't really know, and there might be some out there because like I'm not fucking like tapped into everything. I'm just saying like I don't really know any brown artists that can do like the English part really well and do the like pretty much Punjabi. Like that's what I'm gonna do, right? And I'm like, if I can fucking put that together, which aside from something that I think can work, that's not the main thing. The thing is like that's actually very close to who I am. You know what I mean? So me doing that and me actually being able to be myself while doing that is like that could connect on a big level, right? And that's what I've always wanted to do, like connect to people. And I feel like those are the people that I can connect to the most, and that's what my plan is for this year. Having said that, I think what kind of threw me off was like when I kind of came here, I kind of started to feel like, oh, like my Punjabi isn't that great. I need to work on it and shit like that, or like
really?
maybe yeah, bro, and like that, and then also like
You feel like you forgot how to speak a lot?
no, I mean, I feel like because over there, like I said, like in my school and shit, there wasn't any like brown people.
Yeah,
And then
so
the
you
brown
couldn't
people
speak.
you met, you talk in English, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at my home, and like luckily, bro, and like maybe it's because I actually grew up in India, and like maybe that's why, like, or I was born there. Maybe because of that, or like maybe because like I subconsciously started watching a lot of like Punjabi music, and like I listen to a lot. I watch a lot of movies, and I would like practice talking in Punjabi with my friends. I think it's not that bad. And I think for the longest time, what I did was I came here and I was almost like kind of comparing my Punjabi to someone who's like come from fucking India for their whole life, right? Obviously, it's not going to be the same. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to improve my Punjabi, but then make it sound like how I sound like, and then make that my
You
sound.
gotta be you,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
You gotta be you. Everything you do,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you
What about you? Like I
No,
kinda
man.
go-
Today's about you. Today's all
Nah,
about you, man.
I can't, man. I got too many questions for
Too
you.
many questions for me.
Yeah.
I gotta have for you, man. We're trying to get to know Clinton and how you work. Well, yeah, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
let me ask this one thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially with your sound, right? Since you do a lot of Afrobeat music, right? And I was
Yes.
asking you a little bit earlier as well. Have you tried to like because I know your goal is to kind of break out as an Afrobeat artist,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
you're in Vancouver. Would you like have you considered like kind of mashing it up with like for example like Afro drill, like Afro pop, like that kind? Because like even if you look at Rema, right? Like he
Yeah.
started to do like some songs with like Ice Spice and like Chris Brown, where he's kind of like
Yes,
like
yeah.
dabbling a little bit more.
Of course.
Like, do you
Of
ever
course.
like wonder that like even though you love Afro beats, that
Yeah,
like
of course.
if you tried pop and like that could be the thing that makes you pop. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm sure you have those thoughts.
I've of course. Like when I obviously meet an artist, right, and I see the work they're doing,
Yeah.
I love their music. I always want to, work hard
Yeah.
and try and fit in that song.
Yeah.
I've made a couple songs, a couple featurings,
Yeah.
where it's a different style than what I do.
Yeah.
But you still work hard to go out there and put work into it, right?
Yeah.
So I've done a couple. To answer your question, yeah, for sure. Like I do love Afrobeat music, but I've also done some pop, hip hop music.
Mm-hmm.
One of my songs was just 100%. It wasn't Afrobeat music. It was just 100%. Like
Is it out?
it's out. It's
What's
called
the-
Champion.
So
Champion's
Champion by Baracka.
Yeah.
On
So that
YouTube?
song is on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's all platforms. So
Nice.
that song for me was completely different out of my style, but I've always wanted to try a song. Like the way I see how you rap like this,
Yeah.
I always want to try like that, the song like that, And I did it. I feel like I could have done, a lot better now. You can feel like you can do a lot more better.
Yeah.
But my goal is definitely involve stuff like that. When it comes around, when opportunity comes around, I also definitely want to involve stuff around.
Right.
That comes with that.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
the reason why I ask is because your voice is like, because when you hear a lot of your Afrobeat songs, like a lot of them are in like high pitch and stuff, obviously for that
pitch, yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
But when you talk normally, you have a very deep voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the yeah.
But sometimes that's how you come with your style too. Like
Yeah.
with how you sound, how you feel like. Because sometimes when you go to the studio, you go to the mic, you
Yeah.
sing a song, it's like high pitch, you're like, that don't sound that good. And then you go sing like deep voice, like, oh, that works for that song.
Yeah.
So you start discovering your style of the music, and what puts you in a very good, like, you're like, oh, okay, that's really good.
Right.
That hit well with that beat. So that's how for me I find my style in a way. But I'm always very,
How long did it take you to find your style?
oh man. Because I started doing music, like releasing songs. My first single was on October 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first single. It was a collab I did with a couple artists. Shout out to David Duenya and Yara Taylor. And that was also a very different kind of vibe of the music that I do now.
Yeah.
So many things have changed, but that was definitely one of the songs that I did. So that wasn't my flow, like that what I want, but that's something I started because I knew I wanted to be a rapper,
Yeah.
and also a singer. but it wasn't exactly. It was something to start with because I've always wanted to create a song with those two artists. I was like, yo, this because we went to school together. So I was like, we grew up together. We always made music just for fun here and there. So I'm like, we gotta make one professional song together.
Right.
We always gotta do it. So we did it. The opportunity came by. We did it, and it was good.
How did the opportunity come by though?
Oh man, that's exactly where I met Major.
Right.
Yeah, I met OC first. I went to school together, and we were just fooling around, playing around. He started doing music.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're getting better, man. You're getting really good. You say, oh, you should try to do something too. So we all fool around, do something.
Something he would say.
Yeah.
You know he's not gonna miss the opportunity.
He's not, man.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? We should probably try to record something real, like really take it serious.
Yeah.
And like,
So you said
Major, yeah. And like, I know some people can work really good with you with what you got and what we got. So he made the beat. He made that beat, crazy beat, and then I just fell in love with it. And right away I thought, you know what? I need to have a future, two artists in this song.
Yeah.
Because that's always been my goal, and this is the perfect opportunity. And during that time was a time where there was obviously a lot of Black Lives Matter situation when everything was going on, like the racism stuff was going on, people killing each other. So we wanted to make something for the world.
Yeah.
To relate on and to count on the fact that there's faith, things gonna get better, to keep fighting. So we did that, and once it gets called Together with Shine, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard me say that a lot. But yeah, it's one of my favorite songs, 100%, 100% one of my favorite songs.
The first one is just something different, right?
Something different. It was very, very meaningful. Just the way the process went by.
Yeah.
It was very meaningful. Just the way I started, because I was so. This is my first song I'm making, man. So I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm like, man, this is not gonna go well.
Yeah.
I've never recorded in an original real studio before.
Yeah.
Everything's just been like a computer, everything, So I was like, yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta do this right. So yeah, we wanted to do it. But like, that's what I wanted to ask you. That was my question. I wanted to ask you about the process of how you make your music.
How I make it.
Yeah. The first time when you released the music, do you think you're a different person than you were making music now? Or you see the same vibe?
So like my process or me as a person? Or?
You as a person first, I would say.
Me as a person, definitely a lot of like big changes. Because I was like pretty young, like when I started, and like I feel like I'm like a lot more mature, like the way I see things.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And it's just like quite normal. But like there's something really nice about like being naive and like being like, I kind of miss that innocence and like that inherent like positivity. Like you just feel like nothing can go wrong, and even if it goes wrong, it doesn't matter.
But now that's what I'm saying. Now the way you take on the stage, you look phenomenal. Yeah, that's like the first thing you did. Your appearance already crazy. Yeah, I'm like, this guy's gonna kill the stage. Yeah, watch this out. Yeah, because you came out presentable. Yeah, your fit was nice. It was fire. The prep before that, the artists, shout out the artists who did that, who perform over there. They were all amazing. Yeah. So that also makes already a good beginning and a good representation of your show, right? So how did it change like that?
Like the music making process or the performing process?
Music making process.
Music making process. Okay, so I feel like in the beginning, like because I was so bad, bro. Like and like literally, I'm not gonna cap to you. Like what it was though was like the fucking work ethic was pretty solid though. So like. It took so much time, energy, and focus to make one song back then. And it was just like pretty much all the lyrics, I would write a fuck ton of lyrics and try to fit it onto the beat. Like, so I would already have the lyrics that are pre-written and try to like make the flows somehow that would fit on the beat. And like I would keep on chopping and changing. And I would literally have to record one line at a time. So like one bar at a time. Because I couldn't like do more than that. Wow. Like, you know what I mean? And if I did, it wouldn't sound good. And I didn't even know if I sounded good or not. Like that's how raw I was. Someone who's like that raw would not want to put a song out, right? No, but for me, it was like, we're going to put this song out just to prove to to get the whole thing of like, people, like what people think of us out of our minds. Because I'm like, if we put this out, we're only going to get better from that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was kind of like the whole thing. And now it's more like, you just kind of take, now it's more like, I try to work on different songs at the same time, and like I try, like sometimes I feel like I overthink now. Back then, I feel like I just had like more faith and I just kind of go for it. So right now, I'm in a phase of just kind of trying to like stop overthinking and just kind of
And
go
just
with the
go with it.
process. The one thing that I want to ask you, maybe the last thing if you want that I'll
Go
ask you,
ahead, man. It's a
because see,
a
like,
day.
I feel like this is kind of important. With us doing this podcast, I feel like a lot of people that are going to be watching are going to be people that are somewhat interested in music or want to make music, or more specifically
100%.
want to make music in Vancouver and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And they might find the stuff that we're saying relatable or interesting or useful, right? With you saying that, like, it's clear that you got some kind of a plan on what you want this year to be like, which is really important. With a couple of songs, couple of music videos, what, like, up to there, people can figure out, like, okay, you can book a studio, you can make a song, get a mix, and if you really don't know what you're doing, then you're gonna spend way more money than you need to, and like go to the wrong people, whatever. But you can still get it done, put the song out. And even for myself, what I want to learn from you is how do you push a song? And like, how do you market a song? What do you do to push the song? Because I know a lot of artists will just drop the song and be like, yeah, the song comes out at midnight. And it's like, bro,
and
that's
it
not
goes
gonna,
well.
that's not a good way to go.
No, yeah, of course. If obviously if it's something you want to take it seriously, it's like work. It's like a job.
Yeah.
You put everything into it. It's also something I need to get a lot more better into. It's a working process, you know. But I always like to stay active, stay interesting in the things that you do. When, like I say, when you're making music, you gotta be creative with it. Like for me personally, I want to be creative with my music, which is involving dance, even some reels, clips, or like you go into somebody and make them do something, a challenge or whatever it is. Or if the music is about like anything that touch the world, you know, the motivational people, you go ahead and do that at the gym or whatever it is, or in the streets. Just trying to see how you can connect with people differently, and that if you show that, I feel like people will find it more interesting, and through that they can also push your music with it. Because if you see a lot of those big songs out there,
Yeah.
people are using it in a different ways now. You know, some of them are using it in those like gym motivation stuff. The music back there's a lot of challenges, dance challenges. There's cooking shows who have music not in there. For just small reels on Instagram, whatever it is, right? So those are the things that actually push your music up a little more. Like as an artist, what I've discovered is if you do something that connects with people, you know, like in their mind, in their head, when they see something, they enjoy watching it, they really like your music right away.
Right.
Especially if the content is good too.
Right.
So the question was, how do I
Push
push
like,
it?
Yeah.
Making a lot of reels.
Reels.
A lot of-
TikTok reels?
TikTok. I'm not on TikTok yet. I should probably create one.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok yet.
But it's huge,
But
right?
It's huge. People tell me it's really huge. I've seen like a lot of people going big on that.
Yeah.
You know, but mostly I'm on Instagram a lot more. I just wanna keep promoting a lot more. And if you even shoot a music video, you always gotta cut a little part of it. Very good to promote. Podcast, what we're doing right now. That's why we like to have a lot of different artists here, including you. Glad to have you here today, so you can promote what you have coming for people, you know, and people can share it. People that want to hear music, they can share it everywhere. Everyone I share, they can share it. That's how your music go around, and you can keep posting that each and every single time. So you can't slack, you know, because once you slack, people are forgetting about what you're doing.
Yeah.
You gotta keep up being consistent with it.
Yeah.
So that's something that I just want to work on hard on, you
Yeah.
know, and I feel like that should be the advice for everybody who want to push their music for.
Yeah.
Yeah, always got to make sure you do a lot more interesting stuff that can catch people's attention right away, and that's how I feel like you push your music like that.
Right.
You know?
So you feel like having like smaller content and like having content people can
Yeah,
relate to.
yeah.
And then also
You promote
consistently
it
posting.
consistently posting. You want to grow organically, the organic way.
Yeah.
You do that, but there's also platforms that can help you push your music as well.
Like?
There's platforms like there's a different ones. Well, TuneCore has a place where they can push your music out there. I work a lot with TuneCore, a lot more.
Right.
So they do have a lot of different plans that can make you push your music on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. But you have to obviously
Do you pay them?
invest a lot. Yeah, you have to invest a lot more into it.
Right.
And then they can help you distribute your song to everywhere. They can push you so you can be all over that. Even the YouTube, they do have also some ads that you can have that you can help you push your music. It's just how much you want to grind into it,
Yeah.
and how badly you want it.
Right.
If you want to invest a lot more into it, go ahead and do it. And sometimes the result won't be there, but that's what the work is all about, right? It's about
Yeah.
pushing it. So, as for you,
Yeah.
my question to you
Yeah.
is your goal for this year.
Yeah.
Do you want to do mostly performances? Do you want to release music? And what's the advice you want to? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who move into a different city.
Yeah.
They want to pursue some dream.
Yeah.
Why was this so? What's so challenging? What has been so challenging for you coming here
Yeah.
with the music wise?
Mm-hmm.
And what advice would you want to give people out there who have the same kind of mindset that you have?
Right.
They come to a different environment, like you said. Sydney was obviously you have a lot more opportunity there.
Yeah.
Here's a lot more less.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of creating those opportunities.
Yeah.
How do you plan on doing that?
So number one, like 2024, like this is the year for me because I've only got a visa here for 2 years, right? Last year is gone, and it's pretty much this is the year. This is the only thing that I have left. So in terms of my plan. See, the thing with performances is like I've been doing a few, like actually more than a few, like especially the last couple of months, right?
Yeah.
And like the performances, the ones that are going to be, they will come to me.
Yeah.
For me, I think the biggest thing is like kind of seeing where things take you. Where are the performances gonna take me after a certain point? Like I feel like it hits the ceiling, right? In terms of exposure and all that kind of shit. What I want to do, what I need to do, and what I'm going to do is make more songs, make more music videos, consistently have them come out.
Yeah.
Now here's the key. If the quality is not up there, there's no point of even getting it out, right?
100%.
So like
Quality
that's
has to
the
be
thing.
number one.
So I feel like what's challenging is like to somehow save enough money to have like music come out consistently and have it kind of like what you're doing, like have some stock ready and like make sure the stuff that you have is good.
Yeah.
Don't stop working no matter how much stock you have, because you might have 6 songs and before you start chilling, you make that 7th song and you go, that 7th song could be the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like sometimes you don't even know it. Like sometimes you can hear a beat and you don't think too much of it.
Yeah.
You make the song and you go, like even Calm Down. Like if I played you the beat for Calm Down right now, you'd be like, okay, cool. But then the song is a
That's true.
fucking slapper. You know what I mean?
That is so true.
So like I guess for me, like what the main thing is to just really put the foot down, make a lot of music.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, and what I'm kind of doing right now is kind of, like I said, building a team, looking for people that are good with videos, people that that are not worried about money. Because because for me, the whole thing is rather than trying to get a little bit of money, try to do something that makes a big splash. Because once something makes a big splash, a lot of money is going to come anyway.
Yeah.
So even if that's people that I'm trying to work with now, like I tell them, like I get like, yes, like we need money now as well, but if we can make a big dip, like the money is going to come to us. You know what I mean? Rather than we try to escape like fucking $20, $30,
100%.
fuck that shit, right?
100%.
So that's my like mindset right now, is to really just like have good quality content and come out consistently.
Yes.
Tap into like that brown scene of things.
Yeah.
And in terms of advice, man, like I don't know if I'm the best to give advice for this kind of stuff, because like I feel like what I did like based on intuition, and I just felt like I wanted. It kind of sounds a little bit fucked up, but like I kind of moved here to struggle, right? So like I kind of wanted to make sure that if I got it, that I knew that I got it on my own. It was like
That's
even
a
if
good
I was,
mindset, though.
you know what I mean? Like even if I'm living with my parents, right? Even if I did everything on my own, somewhere I would know that I was only able to do it because my parents were paying like for the house and stuff, and I didn't have to. Right now, like even if this is like the only thing I own, like now when I walk into my room, everything in my room is mine. Like I own it, right? Now that could be, honestly, that's not smart. Like that's kind of dumb, because the smarter thing to do is if you have the opportunity to, like, let's say stay with your parents and then make more money and spend it into yourself, you should do that. So I wouldn't really recommend anyone to do that. But the one thing overall that I struggled with, that I think anybody will struggle with when you move to another place, is finding the right people and like and kind of understanding how to survive and like how much attention to give. Because when you move to a new place and you don't really feel connected to people, you will kind of go out of your way a little bit for like people, and you try to connect with people. But I think like it's really important. And what I've learned from this city is that you shouldn't focus on other people at all. Like in this city, people focus on themselves.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like
Yes.
I've always been the kind of person that tries to like help my friends and shit.
Yeah,
But now I'm kind of like, okay, like I need to help myself first. So
Yeah.
one thing I would tell people if you're moving to another city and stuff,
Yeah.
don't do it unless you need to do it. And if
Yeah.
you're gonna do it, then just know the first couple of months it's kind of gonna suck.
Trust, yeah.
And you gotta just like go through it, you know?
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody, want to know where they can find your music and where they can follow Clinton's journey, so you can shout out your Instagram, your music page, and how they can access it,
Right. So my Instagram is Clinton G, CLINTONNNNG. So on my Instagram, you can pretty much find like YouTube, Spotify, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you go on YouTube and you type in Clinton TV, all my like videos and stuff that I've done in the past, that will come up. All the new stuff that I do will come up as well. I might work with some labels and stuff this year, hopefully with Sony Music.
Oh, that's sick.
And if that happens, when that happens, like I think on my Instagram probably be easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that's pretty much the plan. Where
Man.
can they find you, bro?
Hey man, they already know where to. Hey man, AFRODIASPO. First of all, make sure you subscribe to this channel. For everybody who's been watching it, subscribe to AFRODIASPO on YouTube. Today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest who gave us a really incredible performance in the beginning, man. That's fire. So shout out to Clinton, man. Make sure y'all follow him, follow his music, follow his journey. And this is another episode of AFRODIASPO podcast. An amazing one here. Thank you for coming out to pulling out, chilling with us, man.
It was my pleasure, man. I enjoyed every second of it. It went like this too.
That's cool. I'm your host, Baracka, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Every
Thank you
time.
for having me.